G'day guys and welcome to another one of my Digimon ReArise videos. Today we're doing a full gameplay showcase for Omegamon X, Omegamon X Antibody, who's just dropped on the JP side. And I know a lot of you guys are looking for this showcase, so you can decide if you want to summon for this guy or not. If you haven't already, check out my summoning video. What we're going to do in this video is we'll have a look at what the Digimon does, his stats, his skills, things like that. Then we're going to jump in game and test him out in all of the game modes to see how he actually performs. Has he lived up to the hype or not? Omegamon X Antibody is a red type. So let's start off by sorting by power and have a look at his power stat. It is really high. The only two above him at the moment are lovely Angemon, who has 7311, and the Battle Park Black Magnamon has 74. He's rocking nearly 7200 power. It's pretty good. Ancient Greymon here is around the same level, so quite high power, which is always a good start. HP, like this is obviously compared to purple and yellow Digimon who are going to beat him in most situations. He's above Merciful mode, I guess. 9008 Merciful mode's rocking. He's running 9084, so it's very high for a red Digimon. This actually looks like there's no other reds above him in terms of HP. Looking at his defense, Omega Shoutmon's up quite high in terms of red defense. Triceramon's there, and then he's rocking at about third. 3500 defense, nothing too ridiculous there when we've got Digimon like Sakuyamon who's running 5200 defense. A little bit less, but you know, you got to take that with the red Digimon. And of course, speed. You're not going to be breaking any speed barriers with this guy. He's rocking 30 speed. It's not too bad. For a red, that's actually pretty quick. And if you factor in his plugins, which also give speed, he's going to be pretty quick. Let's have a look at his abilities now, his skills, and see what he does. His main skill is called All Delete. 290% to all enemies. 5-turn debuff. 20% chance to deal 12 times damage, so that's special crit, and 80% chance to apply error for 2 turns with 60% on the error, which is really high. So this is kind of gimmicky. 290% to all enemies is good-ish. It's a low multiplier, but it does hit all enemies, which works well with the error. 20% chance to deal 12 times damage, so that's super crit or special crit. You might see that on Digimon like Omegamon or Yellow Ebimon. This is a higher chance. They're about 8%. This guy's rocking 20%. So if you're hitting 5 enemies with no evasion or damage limiters or anything like that, the odds are you're going to get at least one of them hit with this super critical effect. Other than that, shortened by 5 turns is really good. But lack of crit multiplier standardly and the lack of ignore block kind of limits how much damage this skill is going to be doing. If you're using it as a skill to apply error, it is fantastic. 5-turn debuff with the error, which this applies first. You're going to be getting through a lot of resistances, and it's going to be hitting really hard with that high power and 60% power damage as well. So the super crit is kind of gimmicky. His sub skill is 1500%, so a really good multiplier. Single target, ignores shields and ignores evasion. So it's kind of meant to be like a one-hit kill sort of thing, similar to something like a Digimon X with his sub skill. It also increases his defense by 1 turn. No ignore block again, which is really annoying. No crit multiplier either, but that's okay with such a high damage multiplier. Passive gives him X Antibody, of course, makes him great in the Underworld dungeon. 7-turn shock, paralysis, and skill seal protection. 2-turn, 2-time cooldown reduction, and 3 1000 damage limiters. So I guess the main draw would be you're going to try and just absolutely all delete enemies with this main skill, but it doesn't work through shields, it doesn't work through damage limiters, it doesn't work through evasion, so you really need a way to clear that if you want to make use of that rare chance to deal 12 times damage. This can be good for cleaning up enemies if they have evasion stacks left. Yeah, it's kind of a wonky kit. I know a lot of people were disappointed. Its plugins, I forgot to mention, speed and HP, as well as one from the Underworld dungeon, which gives him extra damage to purple enemies. Yeah, a lot of people are a bit disappointed with this kit. It is a bit wonky, but when you see him in-game, I don't think it's as bad as it sounds. Let's jump into the game now and we'll test him out. Let's start with Clash Battle. I'll see you there. Alright, in Clash Battle, I'm taking on a level 20 Omegamon raid here. This is my setup. I've got 33% crit and a ton of speed, which is useful in PvP. Running him on this lineup, which basically has everything you need. Defense reduction. Oh, of course, the raid's full. It's alright, there should be plenty of these floating around. Defense reduction, power damage reduction. No power boosting, unfortunately, but you'll still get a pretty good idea of what he can do. I'm going to start with a defense reduction, and then we're going to pray for one of these special crits and see the damage difference. You got to watch out for the error on this. That's why I'm running Bancho Lilymon to kind of remove that error, because it does have a debuff too, so protection isn't that easy. So there we go, 45,000 without that special crit. It's not fantastic. Like, his damage is low, especially with like, compare it to this, that was just 1.2 million from Digimon X. There's a huge difference in damage. Without that ignore block, without that high multiplier, you're really relying on special crit. Let's see if we can get one here. We can't. 45,000 again. Let's have a squiz at his... I might heal first, and then we'll have a look at his other skill to see how much damage we can get off with that. Get a shield up. Look at the damage difference. That was 1.8 million there. Oh, there we go. Special crit. That was only 490,000. So even with the special crit, you're not doing epic butt tons amount of damage in Clash Battles. Only a 20% chance to activate that. Otherwise, you're going to be doing piss poor damage. To be honest, he is not going to be a staple on any like power Clash Battle teams, I don't think. Maybe with a little bit of power support, possibly, but I can't see it. Like, the gap is just too big. Like, look at this. That was 2.1 million from Digimon X, and even with the 20% super crit, we hit 400,000. So, like, there is a really big difference. So, not a bad run. I'm going to get about 10 million damage on this. Omegamon X did not contribute a lot of that damage. Honestly, he's mid in Clash Battle. Too RNG related, honestly. I'm going to skip the Underworld Dungeon Showcase. He's okay. Again, he suffers the same problem, lack of damage. He's probably mid in Underworld Dungeon. I don't think you need to see that. We're going to jump straight into PvP because I know that's what a lot of you are waiting for. Alright, here we are in PvP. This is the team that I'm running him on. It does not look like an overly shattering team, but wait till you see it in action. I think you'll be quite impressed. It's a little bit of a different strategy to what's been going around. It's been a lot of evasion and piercing and evasion removal. This is more of a like a stallier kind of team. Same setup as before, a heap of speed, a tiny bit of crit on my Omegamon X. I'm only going to be taking on top ranked teams. This team here isn't too powerful, but you can kind of get the gist of how this team works. Hopefully we can see some super crits straight off the bat. Let's see how we go. Oh, we got one on the Volcanic Drum. We didn't take him out, probably because of that defense buff. Let's get a shield up from the Digimon X. Clear that. Clear that fade. So as you can see, his damage again is not ridiculous. But with that said, 5-turn debuff paired with that really high chance to apply error. And I guess his sub-skill is good at cleaning up as well. He just one-shot that Mitamamon there. Even with the evasion, that's still at a one-shot, which is great. But yeah, that 5-turn debuff plus the error is really good. My main strategy... Ooh, what do we got here? Let's take on... I'm going to take on this one. Again, not a top tier team. We had a level 130 in there though, so really limit broken. The next couple of matches I'll take on a really, really top tier team and see how we go there. I guess there's a Digimon X in here. Yeah, so my main strategy is to cycle between... that damage limiter coming in clutch. Cycle between Jesmon and Examon. Sorry, cycle between... Oh, we got the full team stun, but we've already got that burn. Cycle between Omegamon and Examon. And what that does is it just gives me a 10-turn debuff, well, every time I cycle through 10-turn debuff, plus, like, either burn or error, pretty much guaranteed. And as you can see, even with a full team stunned, I can take them out, no problem. Castromon's in there for crit protection and defense support because Omegamon X needs it. If you come up against a Digimon X, he has one-shot potential with his sub-skill. Alright, let's face a Fanglongmon team here. So this team's going to have a ton of evasion. Let's see how this team can deal with it, because that is the main issue at the moment on JP anyway. And remember, Fanglongmon's passive only gives 3 stacks of evasion for 10 turns. So I can simply get rid of that in 2 turns with these 2 5-turn debuffs, and I am laughing. Oh, and as you can see, Digimon X is a serious problem for Omegamon X. No super crit there, unfortunately. We can heal this up. Just kind of bide our time. We've got shields, we've got evasion, we've got damage limiters. And we've got a ton of damage over time potential. Get the revive there. Let's see if we can one-shot here. Nice. It's a good cleaning up skill, that sub-skill. Other than that, it's not too amazing. It does remove their stacks of evasion. But it's only single target, which is kind of a drawback a little bit. Alright, what do we got here? Alright. 2 pretty powerful teams. I'm going to go this team here. This team is pretty nutso. It's got lovely Angemon, Fanglongmon. It's got Ulforce X. This is a pretty top tier team, so let's see how we deal with it. First of all, we need to get rid of Fade because Fade is a big enemy. I'm going to hit the Examon there and bait the heal so I can... Oh, this is good. Now, this should be a full team error. Amazing. Now watch them just destroy themselves. Boom. Get a shield up so we can survive longer. Bancho Lily should heal here, but I can I can simply outpace the heals. Even with Mitamamon and Bancho Lilymon, I'm still outpacing their heals with reapplying my errors. Just with cooldown reduction and the combination of Omegamon X and Examon, like it's good. It's good. Look at this. I'm destroying this guy. I'm still full health. Super crit there. A nice little super crit. I think we might have even got 2 there. I'll slow that down after the battle so you can have a look. Oh, now we just gotta finish off this Bancho. Oh, so annoying. There we go. The burn should finish her off if she ever decides to counter. So yeah, it's not a hard-hitting team, but it gets the job done. Look at that, top-tier team. Let's have a look at that super crit damage. So there you have it, my full gameplay showcase for Omegamon X. Personally, I don't think he's as bad as everyone is making him out to be. I don't think he is the absolute best Digimon in the game, absolutely not. But he's pretty solid, or PvP wise anyway. The super crit is a bit of a gimmick, but if you simply remove that from his kit, he'd still be a solid Digimon. 5-turn debuff with that huge error and cooldown reduction means you can just keep reapplying it. It really deals with quite a few Digimon in the meta, and I don't think he's that bad. His sub-skill, single target, is a letdown, but it can be good at cleaning up. Look, overall, he is good. He is not a must-have, though. If you're really struggling in the meta, you don't have any Digimon that can kind of carry you through, maybe he can help you out. Definitely not a must-have, but definitely solid as well. I like him. He's good with my setup anyway, because I can just spam that burn and error and pretty much annihilate everything. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. Leave your thoughts and opinions down below. Are you summoning for Omegamon X now, or are you still going to give it a skip? Make sure you subscribe. I've got my Digimon X summons coming up really soon next, so make sure you check them out as well. Hey, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!